March Madness is upon us. And all this month, I'm going to be cooking all your favorite foods for all your favorite sports watch parties. We're going to kick it off this week with pulled pork. Let's get cooking. So, first off, this is our pork shoulder. I got it at Sam's Club. 8 pounds for 20 bucks. Talk about stretching your grocery budget. This is just freaking amazing how inexpensive pork shoulder is. It's bone in and it's gonna be awesome. Now for our brine, let's go ahead and get started on that right now. We got 1 cup kosher salt. We got a cup of brown sugar. Throw that in there. And I have these roasting herbs that I'd love to use with parsley, rosemary, and thyme. I got 2 of them. We're just going to go ahead and throw that in there. Now, I find these at my local grocery store. You may not always have a grocery store that has this. Now, mine is Kroger. I love Kroger. But maybe yours don't. Alright. We're going to finish it off with more of my elephant garlic. Look at the size of that. I just smacked it just to release the flavors. You know, it's 2 very large cloves. Gotta throw that in there. Do not throw this in there. If you're wondering where I get these, when I buy mushrooms or other assorted things at my local grocery store, they come in these containers. I wash them out. I save them. They're great. Now we're going to fill this up about, almost forgot. We need peppercorns. Now, you want to measure these out precisely. Exactly 14 of them. I mean, too many of these, you ruin the whole thing. Not enough, you'll never taste it. So measure carefully. Now, we're going to fill this up about halfway with water. Halfway because, well, we got 8 pounds of meat going in there, and when you put it in there, it's going to raise the water level. So we're going to put it about halfway, and we're going to heat it up, bring it to a boil so that it releases all of the flavors. It's going to bring out all the herbs, the garlic, and it's also going to help dissolve our sugar and our salt and more evenly distribute it through the water. And then we're going to add our pork shoulder after it's had a chance to cool. As you can see, it is now come to a big boil. All those flavors are woke up and spreading out in the water just like we wanted to. And we're going to turn this off and let it cool. Now, we got to let it cool before we put our meat in, because right now, if you put it in when it's hot like this, you got to start cooking the meat. And we don't want to do that. So just turn off that heat, let it cool, and we'll be back when it's time to add our meat. Before we add our pork shoulder to the brine, let's just take a quick look at it. Yeah, see, there is our bone. And you can see part of it here in the bottom. And when it gets cooked right, this bone is real handy. It'll be an indicator of how well done it is. When it's right, you're going to just be able to pull it right out. It's awesome. But before we do anything else, unfortunately, this doesn't have much of a fat cap. I like them with more, but this is what we've got to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to score it. And part of that will allow a little more flavor getting down into the meat. Now I'm using my chef's knife, not like the duck where we use that little razor, because well, the duck is a very delicate piece of meat. This is it's pig. It's more robust. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut into it a little bit. That's fine. And as you could tell, this sucker is sharp. Keep your knives sharp. Even your cheap ones. This is Time and Table, which is a Walmart brand. I'm actually surprised at how good it is, to be honest with you. Now you got to sharpen it quite a bit, but it does sharpen rather nicely. And we're just going to do a crosshatch pattern. You don't have to do this. I like doing it. It's going to make it look nicer when I go and pull it out of the smoker. And boy, yeah, I've cut pretty deep in here, but that's all right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to the brine. Now we boiled this and it's cooled off. As you can see, I put my finger in it. It's a little warm, but that's okay. I mean, it's not, you get your shower hotter than this is. So let's go ahead and add this in here. And see, that's why you only go about halfway. Now, oh yeah, it's completely submerged. You want this completely under if you can. Actually, you know what? Let's give it a flip. I want those scores down there sitting on those herbs and garlic to make sure we're really sucking that up. So the question is, how long do we brine this? Now, at a bare minimum, you want 12 to 24 hours. 24 if you can. I'm going to go longer. This is a Sunday afternoon. I'm looking to pull this out Wednesday. It's going to go about 3 days. And then we're going to start the marinade process. You're going to love that. That's going to last for about 3 days as well, maybe 4. The longer you can leave it in your brine and your marinade, the better. But bare minimum, you want 12 to 24 hours. So yes, you can make this at a bare minimum in 3 days if you're doing it the right way. If you want to kind of skip along, well, you're not going to get as good quality product at the end. So just make sure you plan out, take your time, and know that this isn't something you're going to be fixing for the kids when they come home from school saying, Mom, Dad, we want pulled pork. Tough little Timmy, you're going to have to wait. And I'm going to have to wait, but you won't, because with the magic of editing, it'll be Wednesday and we're going to start the marinade. So our pork shoulder has been brining for about 3 days. It's Wednesday. I put it in on a Sunday, so it's had plenty of time to soak up all the flavors from our brine. Now we're going to make our marinade. So my marinade is very simple. We're going to start off with about a handful of brown sugar. Oh, that just smells so sweet. I don't know why brown sugar works so well with pork, but it does. It just does. I'm diabetic, and I've tried to figure out how to get it out. I can't. This may kill me, but I'll die with a smile. We're going to add some kosher salt. How much? Yeah, about that much right there. Now, we also have, for seasoning, this is one of my favorite, Grill Mates Smokehouse Maple. I mean, I bought this large container from Amazon. This is the heart. Well, this is one of the more important parts of the seasoning. I love this stuff. Just absolutely love it. Now, the true secret to this is one of my favorite cooking ingredients. Crown Royal Vanilla. Oh yeah. Now, I've seen other chefs use other binding agents. Now, true, you don't need alcohol. But hey, I like this stuff. It tastes fantastic. Now, if for some reason you don't consume alcohol, consider this. One, this is going to the alcohol will completely cook off and you'll just be left with your flavors. Now, if you're not even willing to be seen in the liquor store buying this and you don't feel safe door dashing it, okay, fine. Use olive oil. That's what this recipe originally called for. I discovered Gordon Ramsay had a recipe kind of like this, different seasonings, and he only did it for like 2 or 3 hours. He said longer is better, and he's right. Now we're going to put that on our pork shoulder. All right, now I like to start off by putting a little bit of my seasoning paste down first. Why? Because we don't want it flipping over and rolling around a lot. And then there we go. Oh, look at these herbs that are sticking to it. You know what? We're going to leave that. That's going to be just fine. Now, you're going to need to create a little bit of a bowl here. You can't see it on camera, but it's already starting to leak out underneath. And we don't want it going out on our counter. So now, we're just going to pour this all over. Make sure you get all of it. And just rub it all over. Don't let any of this go to waste. Get it down where you scored it. Get it down in there. Get it all up on the sides. Now we're going to wrap this up. Obviously, I'm going to have to add another layer of foil. Give me just a minute. So I added another layer of foil off camera. You know how to wrap stuff in foil. At least I hope you do. I put it on this tray. Stick it in the fridge. And we're going to let it just soak up all those seasoning flavors and that yummy, yummy, yummy ground vanilla. Give it about 3 days. Saturday evening, we're going to pull it out of the fridge and throw it on the smoker. Okay, so this has been marinating now for 3 days. And it's about 8 o'clock in the evening. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, let's unwrap this bad boy. Now, you want to be careful. Because you see, we got juice coming out here. We don't want to lose that. That is way too important to just dump and throw away. So I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a little bit. Peel it back careful. One, because we want to save all that marinade, and two, we don't want to make a mess. Look at that. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Oh, it smells amazing. And there's still some of our herb on there. You know what? I'm going to leave the herb. We're going to go ahead and pull this out. Transfer it over here. And then that'll go in the smoker. But what we got here, we want to save this. I got a little ceramic bowl here. And I'm going to pour it up in there. And we're going to definitely have a use for it. Make sure you get it all out. All that. Now, I know you'd love to see me putting this on the smoker, but unfortunately, my porch only has one light and it's not very good. I'm not one of those fancy YouTubers with ring lights and all that sort of good stuff. You just gotta have to take my word for it. This is going on the smoker. I got it set for 190 degrees. We want to smoke it real low, real slow overnight, until this gets up to a temperature of about 185 to 190. When we get it there, I'll show you what we're going to do with it next. Our juices that we saved, it's going out on the smoker with it. Why? You just got to wait and see. It's going to be awesome. You'll love it. Like I said, you do not want to waste it. Save it. Put it in a little ceramic bowl like this. Now, if you're doing this in an oven, well, just put it in your fridge. But the smoker, you're going to be able to catch all that smoky flavor into it for what we're going to do with it tomorrow. And I'll see you in the morning. So for those of you who are screaming in my comments right now, no, you don't get it all the way up to 195 degrees. Yeah, I told you wrong. The first stage, we're actually looking for about 165. Now, I'm at 173, which is just fine. So we're fixing to pull this off the smoker, take it inside and wrap it. Let's have a look at it real quick. And that is looking absolutely beautiful. Now, for almost any kind of cooking, and especially if you're going to have a smoker, I highly recommend you invest in something like this. These are fantastic for handling very hot items and keeping it from burning you. Now we're going to transfer it into this real quick and take it inside. Alright, so for our next stage of cooking, we're going to wrap it in this Oklahoma Joe's. I got this on Amazon. Just look for Oklahoma Joe's smoker paper and you should be able to find this without any trouble. And if you're wondering what that is, let me get you a closer look. Now that's our juices that was in the foil that it's been marinating in. As you can see, this was in the smoker all last night. and it's reduced at least a quarter. We're going to use that a little bit later on. But now, let's wrap this bad boy up. I think I'm going to try to do it like that. This thing is hot. Now, the way I usually like to try to do this, start off by trying to fold up the sides. There we go. We're going to see how well this is going to work. Roll it over. And roll it over again. Now, we're going to tuck this piece in under here, and we're wrapped and ready to go back on the smoker. So now our pork shoulder's back on the smoker for some more time, but we've cranked the heat up. I've set it for 280 degrees because we want to go ahead and get there. We're looking for a final temperature of 205 degrees. Now this is the hardest part about smoking, and especially with pulled pork, because right now you can eat this, but it's not going to be that beautiful pulled pork that's just shredded up and you put on a bun or however you like to eat it. Smoking requires patience, and it's all about the temperatures. You can pull it off at 204 and it won't be quite right. Wait for that 205. And we'll be back when it's at 205 degrees to show you how beautiful this is. All told, we're looking at about 20 and a half hours of total cook time. And it's going to be so worth it. We finally got up to temperature 205 was the temp we were looking for. Let's pull it off and get it inside and rest it. Okay, so I've got a small pot heating up, and this is our marinade juices, and we're going to just go ahead and put that in there. It's already thick and sticky, which is awesome. Try to get all of that out. Now you need to be tasting this to know what, if any, changes to the flavor you may want to make. Is it too salty? Is it too sweet? What does it need? Well, this, it's got a very savory flavor to it, but we want to add some sweetness, and of course we got to add one of my favorite ingredients when it comes to this kind of cooking. We're gonna just, now I got it good and hot, a little more of a splash. We want to give the alcohol a chance to cook off. Oh my God, the smell has already just gotten amazing. Whew. Now, if you put your nose right over this right now, it'd be like sniffing almost straight, just straight up pure rubbing alcohol, because that's that alcohol cooking off. We want it gone. We want the flavor of the whiskey to be left. And I think we're there. Now, we're going to add a little splash of maple syrup. And I mean literally just a splash. That's all I got left. Let's go ahead and add, I got good sized hands. That's probably about 1/2 to 3/4 a cup of brown sugar we just put in there. And we're gonna finish this off with butter. Now, I'm adding butter at the end. There's about 1/2 a stick going in here. I'm adding it at the end because butter is an emulsion. And if you let it get too hot, it's gonna break down. You ever hear of a sauce being broken? That's what it is. It's when the solids have separated from the oil, and that is an undesirable thing. It just doesn't look good, it doesn't taste good, and you don't want your butter separating here. All right, it's time to put it all together. Let's go ahead and carefully unwrap this. Oh man, look at this. Look at it. Oh, look at it. It is glorious. Now, the real test of if we got it right. Oh, look at that. It just fell out. That's when you know you got it right. Put that over there. Now this should just fall right apart in my hands. Oh, it is. This, look at the way this just falls apart here. Now some of it's sticking to our paper. It's probably some of the brown sugar and such caramelized to it. We'll get that in a minute. Now, there we go. That's how you know it's right. That it just falls apart. Look at that. Look at that. Just all teeny tiny pieces. Now, you could eat it just like this if you want. If you are hungry and you're ready, go ahead and eat it. I guarantee you, this is freaking awesome. But we have that sauce. We're gonna add that right now. We're going to just pour all of it in there. Trust me, you want to do this. Now, if any of your guests complain, well, you'll know who not to invite back next time, won't you? Because this is beyond epic. Now, you're going to want to make sure, of course, you find these big chunks and tear it down. But this is it. This is pulled pork. Look at that. Now it's time to eat. This is absolutely amazing. I'm not even going to plate this. Why? Because I'm hungry. Now, some people like to just put it on a bun, put a little coleslaw on it, all sorts of serving options for it. Me, I just like it straight off the plate. I love it. I love it. This is perfection. This is actually one of the first meats that I unlocked the secrets of. Still haven't figured out brisket. So you're not going to see one of those videos anytime soon. But this, I've unlocked the code to get it awesome. I hope you're going to try it, and I hope to see you next week.